pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, do we have any public comment? Now, we'll move on. What we call this meeting, right after our board meeting Thursday, Eagle got back with us on that tree project in the park. And they accepted the lowest guy. And we figured he wants to move forward, because he says that's a winter price. If we wait longer, it's gonna be higher. Mike wants to get her done because he says if we wait, like we said, he says he gets too busy come April, March, depends on the weather, getting cemeteries and stuff. So we'd like to move on with getting those trees cut down. We got any?
Thank you very much, Pat and Kurt, for letting us see what the bids were, letting us see, I guess what we were concerned about was, it was kind of like authorizing a blank check.
Right.
Because we didn't know any price, and we do know a price, and we do know that Eagle okayed it. I'm more than satisfied with that. I would make a motion to go forward with that.
I'll second that.
Motion by Nancy, seconded by Alicia, to go, Alicia, sorry. I should start calling her
Probably tell me I
a little
wrote too.
easier.
It doesn't.
To go with, Dave, what's the name of it? Sarge's Tree Service. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
4-1, motion carries. Okay, in the meantime, this one probably could have waited, but we decided we better handle it. We got notice Thursday on this one too. Twisted Sisters medical license. She renewed both of them with our township, but she didn't renew her medical one with the state, and it expired 10/28.
29.
29? 10/29. Yeah, right for me. We either gotta make a decision, I gotta send her a letter, we're gonna take it, or we do nothing until it comes due again. Or if we send her a letter, then we got one back open on the, cause we got 4 we can give out. That'd give us, I don't know, who'd want a medical one, maybe someone would, I know.
Well, it wouldn't have to be medical, it'd just be an open license. and
Local
somebody else
license,
to open a business.
Okay. And I don't know. Just what you guys want, do you want me to send her a letter saying we're revoking her?
Well,
She's in default.
when was she supposed to renew? Because I know in section 7 on ordinance 24 and 25, and then the amendments shortened it to 30, she was supposed to be proactive and like come to us to say, I wanna renew, right? And since she didn't, don't we
She-
already have something?
She
to cover that?
renewed her to us.
Okay,
It's
she
the
just didn't with the state and we're
Yeah.
on different
And I don't,
timelines.
and to me, and I don't
That's
know,
weird.
I don't know why you give us $5,000 and not renew with the state, I don't.
Cause this medical license expires June 13th with us. And I think it's just when we approved it, based on when the state approved their license, that's why the expiration dates are all
Our
different.
lag time, okay.
Now, is she required to have a medical marijuana license with the state?
To sell it there, she is.
Sorry.
To sell medical, but she's got a recreation
Okay,
too, so
so
she can keep
either
doing
or.
business as, right?
On the one license.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
she just wouldn't wanna be selling to medical people.
Yeah. I don't see why we wouldn't wanna open it up to another possible entrepreneur to come into town, you know, if there's an availability there, why would we, you know, hold it for a while? That's how it's done, you know?
I agree.
So So I guess the first question is, do we want to rescind her, is that the word rescind I want?
Revoke.
Revoke, that's the word I was thinking, revoke her license, I guess, so maybe we probably need a motion to either do that.
For
or just
medical,
let-
right?
Right.
I'll make a motion to revoke her medical license.
I'll second that.
Motion by Nancy, second by Patty, to revoke medical marijuana license to Twisted Sisters. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
So then the next question is, do we want to open up a window period to allow to accept licenses, or do we just go with what we have?
So if we open a window for someone else, we start all over again with contacting the attorney, et cetera, or not, to make sure that everything is in place, done the right way. Do you know, Pat?
Usually we contact the attorney to make sure that we're posting it correctly and open up a window, and for how long of a period of time we want to open up the window for. Originally, we were opening our windows for 120 days. The last time we allowed Twisted Sisters, that was just, I think, a week window, so.
Can we have the availability of one and not necessarily open a window, and then if you're approached by someone, then say, okay, we've been approached and now we need to open the window, and then that would make sense for that work to be done when it needs to be done?
I think that would make sense. Because I guess in my opinion, I don't think, because potentially if we open a window, I decide I want to open another recreational shop, I could open another, I could go through the process, so then we would potentially have 3 marijuana dispensaries in town. I personally think 2 is plenty, but that is my personal opinion. So I would like to kind of hold off on opening a window until we hear, somebody comes in and they've got a really good, solid, viable business plan or something, then we could open up a window at that time. Check everybody out.
Be honest with all of you, I'll probably have a lawyer write a letter to make sure everything is
Correct, yes.
right words, in case we, for a lawsuit or anything.
Yeah, revoke. I would make a motion that we, at this time, do not open a window period.
I'll second that.
Motion by Patty, second by Sarah, that right now we do not open a window for a license. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. That leads us down, public comment. Any public comment? Sherry?
Yeah, I'm just curious, I know that in December, you indicated that you only had 1 bid, and you needed to get more, nobody responded. Back when I was on the board, I was required to get, bids in writing, sealed bids, and we were open at the table. So I'm just kinda curious as to why that process wasn't used.
It was, we ended up having to get 3, cause Eagle's got to okay it. So we had to keep looking until we found 2 that would respond to us.
I understand it, but were they opened in a public meeting?
None of them, we just sent them to
No,
Eagle,
we sent them to Eagle.
cause they're the ones that
You didn't even
okay.
open them then?
I opened them and sent them to Eagle.
Fax them down to Eagle.
Okay, so is the public gonna be told how much this tree job is gonna cost us?
What is it, $8,900?
Not to exceed $8,900, that's what it said on there, I believe.
How many trees are coming down, does anybody know?
Well, it's all on that slope,
And 3 trees top side.
that side, yeah.
Okay. Now, if I recall correctly, when Wolverine did their presentation, they said that they would be securing the bids, passing them on to you for your approval, but does every bid that we make have to go through Eagle's approval? Okay, so then essentially, when they send you their bids, we really aren't selecting, we're just passing those through to Eagle then, is that correct?
They have the final approval.
Understood, but if they require 3 bids, Eagle requires 3, is that correct? Okay. So if Wolverine only sends you 3, then we really don't have a say-so in that. It's just simply, we're looking at the least bid and then passing all 3 on to Wolverine. Okay, well, I was just curious about that because you guys were able to select for the trees. Is there any anything else that we can do on our own, or does everything from there on out have to go through Wolverine?
Well,
What do you mean?
Well, like for example, the excavation. Now, are we able to get bids, or is Wolverine
I
going to
think
be getting?
Wolverine will.
Wolverine, so really it's
Because
out,
they're putting out the specs and everything, we aren't qualified, I don't know, anybody at this table that's qualified to go up there and hire an excavator to do the project without the specs, that's why Wolverine does that.
no, I understand, but
they
they,
can discuss that with the
Right.
subs, yeah.
I'm just saying that they're gonna probably be sending you people from their location. And so that kind of leaves us out. Is there any way that you can request a copy of the specs and
Well,
send
it'll
them
be
out?
advertised when they're gonna bid, so like, I guess if we had somebody in this area, we want to bid, when it comes out for advertising, we wanna make sure that they got a, you know, hey, you wanna bid on this?
Well, that's good news, because I really hate to see it, local contractors left out of the loop entirely. And then the other thing is, I was just curious, have you ever received a breakdown of what, I know that I heard in a meeting the cost of the whole project, but, do you have a breakdown of those specific costs that you could share with the township people, or no? You know, like so much for trees, so much for
No,
excavation, so much
I
for,
don't think we do.
Well, that's when we just spent,
That's
Parks
the
and
new
grant.
updated one on,
Oh, that one done?
yeah,
that
that's
one's
a
got
line
it added,
item,
doesn't it?
yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
really?
I don't
Okay.
have it, but I don't.
Is that something maybe you could just put on the website to, you know, if people are curious to see? Cause I'm personally, I'm curious.
See, this tree job in the park we're doing, cause we've gotta put, the 50 hours of our own man hours into this project.
Yeah, I understand.
So we
that,
thought, well, you know, to clean up, this guy's just bringing them to the top, and then we'll clean the mess up.
Okay. In the past, whenever tree work's been done, the DPWs have said, I said, what are you doing with all that wood? They said, we take it out to the sewer. Do they mean that they take it and put it in the burn pile?
They've talked this time, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're gonna cut it up, cause we don't want everybody driving up the park.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna cut it up, take it out there, and the people want it, probably have a pile of it, and you can just go out and pick it out of the pile, I guess.
Wow. That's good news. I didn't know if you guys burned them, cause when you say sewer plant, I think trash bin, you know, the
Yard waste.
yard
Yeah.
waste, yeah.
And the big stuff I'm not gonna burn, but the people that live down the road, it's hard for me to burn that pile, I gotta get the wind that's right, blowing the right way.
Right, no, I think it's
And
wise
if
to
it's
do
any
what you're
big
doing.
stuff, it keeps smoldering, then the smoke goes and, yeah, but I'm gonna try it again, I'm gonna get all the big stuff,
Mhm.
put it in a pile.
Great, I
If
think that's,
people are
that's good
want
for
it,
the
they come
community.
get it, yep.
that's good for the community, you know.
Absolutely.
This guy that got the job too, he said that he would either help run it or let us use his, chipper.
Oh, okay,
So we shouldn't have a bunch of brush, you know, just chipper and blower in our trailer, and so I probably have a pile of chips out there, if somebody wants some green chips.
cool. Good to know. That's all I've got.
Anybody else?
And just one issue that just popped up in my head, reconciling, you know, for the entire project, a part of the contributions are supposed to be donations in kind, which would be from local contractors. So how do we maneuver, I don't mean maneuver the system, but how do you get our donations in kind folks to be the lowest bidder so that Eagle approves it? I mean, I don't understand how that is.
Very good point. Very good point, because we do have matching funds that we have to come up with. That they were supposed to raise all of these funds, donations for the park project. Well, at last count, in my mind, I don't know if you guys have touched it, we only had, was it $1,700?
Thousand.
Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, $17,000. And then we had a matching bid that we had not received for $40,000. So that means that whatever's going on out there, in order to get that $40,000, somebody's gotta raise another $23,000. So I'm just, because that was totaled within what we were gonna do. And so I'm just wondering, is there anybody heard anything on that? Is there any additional fundraising? Is $17,000 the only thing we got and we're gonna lose that 40 grand and? Anybody?
I don't know, we'll probably have, when we start, maybe this summer, start having some money. I think a lot of people are scared. Why donate if, you know, are you gonna do like we do with everything else, go this far and then drop it? You know, I think once we start doing something, then I think people will be more willing to give, you know.
Well, that's
I
possible.
hope so.
See more
That's-
progression.
Yeah, I was just
I
curious.
might be 100% wrong too.
How did that additional, I don't remember, maybe you know, Tim, how did that donation money how was that appropriated to was it part of our matching grant? Oh, so technically we have not fulfilled our match to the grant people yet. Is that correct then? We don't physically have the money.
In donations
Well,
or in matching.
in matching funds, we said we had this much matching funds, but technically, we really don't even have those funds because the 40,000 hasn't been brought in and the other 27,000 hasn't been raised to bring in the 40,000. Well,
The grant we put in for was $507,000. 507. And the grant from the state is 300,000. So that leaves 207,000.
okay,
The township committed $100,000 of township funds plus $50,000 in kind, so there's 150. So that leaves $57,000 left. We have $17,000 in the account for the park project. With the $40,000 donation we have, that's where we come up with our $507,000.
okay. But we've not, have you received that 40,000?
No, we don't have it in the deposit yet.
Okay,
But we have a
because,
commitment to that.
right, but my understanding was that was offered as a matching grant, or matching
I think
donation.
that
Did
my
they-
understanding is that it changed.
It has changed and you're just gonna get it regardless, okay.
That's my understanding.
Well, I'd like to see that money funneled in, so you guys have it in your hands.
That's the number.
Okay. Well, thank you.
And then they said what we were short, that Sherry was gonna be in kind and give us the rest.
I'm totally willing to put in some labor for free, for in kind, for sure.
Mike, did you hear that?
Bring your chainsaw.
You know where she lives.
Was it kind of left at Wednesday night's meeting that you were gonna invite Wolverine to come out and give us an update on the project and funding and timeline and all that kind of thing? That's, nothing has been set yet.
No.
It's gonna happen between now and summer.
Yes. I'm hoping that-
Well, yeah, because see, their plan right now is they wanna be ready another month to give out bids, cause they wanna do on this south end, they wanna do they call them
Switchbacks.
switchbacks,
Okay.
get them in, so after Labor Day of next year, they can start right down there, and that'll already be good and hard cement, and they can start with how many tiers we ever end up with.
This year, Labor Day.
This Labor Day, yeah, coming, yeah.
So my understanding was that they weren't gonna start anything real until, the summer, or Labor Day of 2023, so are they?
This is 23.
I understand, but you said that we wanted to get in there and start sending out, get it right away.
This spring, when we met with them last, that's what they wanted to do. They didn't figure that will interfere with anything, the play or the.
Right, I understand the logic behind it, but it just sounded like to me, when you just said that, is they wanted to get started right away and send out the bids currently or right away. But I mean, if they're sending out bids right now and they're not gonna start it until Labor Day of 2023, that could significantly change, couldn't it, the costs?
I don't know if they're gonna, I think it's just bids right now for this end down here. Then I don't know if come June or July, they'll send bids out. I don't know how they will. I guess we'll have to ask them when they do plan on sending it out for the whole deal.
When you say this end down here, because we're not going past the existing steps that go down
Right.
there. So you mean just down closer to those steps?
I
So
think,
they'll be removing those steps.
They are removing those.
That's what they plan on working on, is that area where the steps and that steep
Okay.
slope is, and putting that switchback in there.
Would that really get in the way of summer traffic, cause it's so pushed over to that side?
That's why they're thinking they can start that this summer, because it would be up to the
Okay,
side.
great,
And they
okay.
could, the trucks and all the work could be done going up out of the way and not interfere with the pavilion and,
Okay, so they would technically be starting prior to fall.
right,
Okay,
in that one area.
well, that makes sense. All right. Thank you.
Anything else, Tim? John?
I'm unclear, and my big concern has been with this park project, do we have enough money? So I'm really unclear. You guys feel that for what you have a signed contract for work, that the township does have enough money? We're not short anything at this point?
We got enough money to get going, maybe not have all 3 tiers, at least 1 or 2.
Okay, so if we had enough to do that, where they would leave us would be serviceable, it wouldn't be an eyesore, it wouldn't be a hazard.
No,
Okay, so it wouldn't be something, I guess, left undone or half done or
Right,
something
yeah.
else. So we're confident we have enough to get to a certain point with what our agreement is with Wolverine. We have a signed contract with them?
no.
We don't-
No? Okay.
I remember when they were here, they were like, no, let's get going, and we did a motion to accept it, and what did they say?
I don't have any signed anything.
Yeah, I know we didn't sign anything, but they said our motion would be good enough for them at the time. But, yeah, I understand that concern.
But
That's why it'd be good
when
to
would a
bring it back
contract
in.
be in place then, at this point? So that we're locked in at a certain amount that we're expecting to pay and we know what their scope of work is?
I think that was on them getting started doing all this, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah, you're right.
Not
You're right.
doing the park project, that was, what did we
Starting with
figure,
the drawings,
80,000 or something, they
starting-
thought they could get up to or something
Starting
maybe?
with the drawings, et cetera, so that you've gotta have a plan, that was the plan, the drawings.
Okay,
I know that they said they would have us involved in picking out some of the materials, because higher grade materials are gonna cost
Sure.
more money, things like that.
Lighting and stuff.
Yeah. So, I just want everybody to keep in mind that when those trees start coming down, we're gonna be getting calls. And that's okay, as long as we have a response to them, a positive response. We need to start this.
well, and maybe have some materials ready for people that are asking questions of, this is our plan moving forward, here's something in writing maybe from Wolverine, or something from them, I don't know, showing a plan so we don't look like we're just doing stuff, I guess. I'm just concerned stuff's gonna look half done, that's all.
For a little while, there's only so much we can do
Sure.
in the beginning.
In connection with John's thought, I thought, I don't remember hearing it directly, but I kind of thought that part of our plan B was to hold some of the ARPA funding in reserve. And
We still have money there.
And that could be applied.
Okay.
And we got, was it 50,000 that Stanton gave us? to
Right, we
probably
got
get you-
50,000 there. I don't think we've touched any of our marijuana revenue from the state. That's not a restricted fund, is it? Not to my knowledge.
So you're saying there's other funds that could be moved over to cover things, if need be?
Um,
And Chris told me we need to get with Stanton, it ain't ARPA money, but must be they got the marijuana money or something they can give out more of.
Yeah, you guys are you gonna do that, Sarah?
I can.
Or were you?
Pat and I talked about it,
We
and,
kinda held up on it, 'cause we weren't sure.
right,
Cause when we text Brenda or something, there was, there ain't no COVID or whatever you call it,
ARPA
ARPA
money.
money.
Right, but
But then Chris told me the other day, you guys need to apply, cause there's gonna, I don't know, they got some
He
extra
did say-
marijuana.
yeah, he did say that. I'm not sure where the funds came from, but yeah.
Marijuana.
He called me Thursday
Yeah.
after the board meeting, wanted to know how our board meeting went. And he says, you guys need to get up there and see if you can get some of that marijuana money from us. You wanna do
How
it,
much do
sir?
we wanna ask for?
All we can get.
Can I ask another quick question, Chris,
Yes.
if that's okay? I was at the meeting when they said that it would cost them, they needed about $70,000 to get going on it, and you approved up to $100,000. But what is that, does that cover the whole, all of the drawings, all of the specifications, or is this just part one of what they're gonna do for us? And then ultimately, we're gonna have to keep continuing to fund more drawings and things like that?
I don't, to me, they got about the worst of it done, drawing wise and playing now,
Okay.
and that bill was 32,000,
Something like that, yeah.
30 something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, now to me, they have some finish up work to do on like the lighting and rather now than just go over bids and however they bid it out. And,
Okay, so that 32,000 is coming out of that 70 that they requested then?
Yeah.
Right, perfect, okay. Good deal.
Anybody else got any more questions? Everybody happy?
That's relative.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion by Patty, second by Nancy to adjourn at 1:25. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All passed.
I
Yes.
hate to wait.
Yes.